Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody that are joining us today from the different parts of the world. My name is Adam, and I will be your host in this webinar today. In today's webinar, we will learn how you can use FAST, Freight Advanced Service Technology, our solution, to create your own digital brand for your customers and suppliers, and to compete with digital rivals. First of all, I would like to refer you to our previous webinar, our first webinar that was about how to create your company profile inside FAST and all the free features. If you would like, you can view the old webinar, the last webinar, our first webinar, webinar number 1, in our website under webinar 1. So if you didn't see it until now and you didn't register to FAST yet, so please go ahead and view the first webinar. This webinar will be recorded, so you, as of the previous webinar and also this webinar, you could always come back to it and see and view the webinar at all times. And that's it. Let's go on and view our points, what we're going to discuss today. So the webinar topic today is learn how you can build your digital brand with FAST. In this webinar, we will learn how to build your digital freight forwarder brand. Okay, so a part of it will be the company profile that we have seen in the previous webinar, and a part of it will be about FAST Pro. The second thing will be design your login and sign up pages and to embed them on your website, the login and sign up frames. Then activate your online quotation features, so how to upload your buying and selling agreements and to set your templates. You design your embedded website frames for on-demand quotation bookings and track and trace online. Of course, we will see how to embed it on your website. And how you can see all FAST customers, all of your customers that are actually registering to your digital brand online using the embedded iframes. And the last thing is to activate the on-demand quotation. If we will have time, we will do it today. In either way, in the next webinar, in webinar 3, we will have a full webinar about the issue of on-demand quotations, booking, and track and trace. So let's go ahead and first of all understand who are those digital rivals that now entering to the freight forwarding business. So our digital rivals are actually built out of two main criteria in the industry. So the first are the startups. So as you know, in the last 2 years, a lot of startups have entered to the freight forwarding industry, to the freight business. And those startups would like to address the customer of the freight forwarder and to offer him online services digitally through their website. Now, take in consideration that those startups probably don't have the expertise of logistic experts. This is why they didn't yet made a big impact on the industry in terms of volumes. But for example, if we take Flexport, that is one of the main startups that now controlling this area. So this is, for example, the website of Flexport. Flexport is actually contacting the end customer and offering him to go ahead, enter to the website and request for quotations, make bookings, receive rates from Flexport. Flexport is actually a digital freight forwarder. It's the same also with iContainers. Also, iContainers is a startup company that now offers a range of services like the quotation online and the booking, management of shipment, and monitoring in real time. So those are the same services that actually every digital freight forwarder should give. So the services that the digital freight forwarder should give is, one, the quotations on demand. Let me just go ahead to our front page of our website. And here we can go on all the benefits that a digital freight forwarder should have. So the benefits that the digital freight forwarder, the features that the digital freight forwarder should offer to his clients are, first of all, the quotations and booking online. Okay, so instead of receiving inquiries by email, permit your customer to register to your digital freight forwarder brand and to receive rate inquiries and quotations in less than 30 seconds. So this is the first thing. The second thing is, after you receive the rates, after you already gave the rates to the customer should be able to book directly from your website. If the customer has booked directly from your website, then he should have a real-time supply chain track and trace of all of his shipments, both by mobile and also by web. So he will not contact you every time to ask you where is my shipment located, or he will not need to go inside the shipping line website, put the container number or BL number, and to receive the position of his containers. He could see everything on one map that unifies all of his shipments with you. So for example, if as a freight forwarder we have used a variety of carriers for the same customer. So for example, one time I send it with Costco, and one time with Maersk, and one time with MSC. In the end, the customer, instead of going to each website of shipping line and insert his container number, he will be able to see everything on one unified map, on one unified screen, with all the positions of all of his shipments. So this is the second thing that we should give to the customer. The third thing is the centralized paperwork. So the centralized paperwork online is actually a place. It's like you can see it as a document shelf where you can put is like a box on the cloud where you can put all the shipments documents that are relevant only for this particular shipment, and those documents are kept safely for 7 years. So even if the customer in later time loses this document and need a copy of it, he will not need to contact you by email, and you don't need to send him anymore by email. He could just go ahead, enter to his customer portal, and download any shipping documents on demand. So this is the third feature. And the last but not least, and this is also very important, the digital freight forwarder usually uses shared workforce in order to manage the shipment for his customer. What does this mean? So for example, I'm sure that all of you had the situation where you have shipped a cargo for your customer and you have used an agent, maybe in origin or a destination, in order to make the local, in order to handle the local activities regarding to the shipment. In FAST, you could open a supplier portal, or you could invite your suppliers that are actually your agents or carriers to your system and help and let them help you manage the shipment for you. So for example, add the shipment milestones, upload any documents, or anything that they should handle in the origin or in the destination of the shipment. So again, the first thing that I wanted to show you here is the customer view of your customer portal. So when a customer entered to your portal, as you can see up here, you see your logo right here. This is the customer logo, actually, because if he's publishing his news, okay, so of course it will be published on, of course, his logo because he's publishing the news, all right? So this is the customer view. And what we can see here is, first of all, the possibility to ask for a freight quotation, to receive automatic quotations. This is what we will see on webinar 3. Okay, so this is where the customer is asking from you a freight quotation and can receive an automatic rates. Okay, so this is the create quicker view. Here he can view all of the past sales proposal that you already offered to him. So even if you want to book again a certain shipment, or you want just to repeat the same sales proposal, or to go ahead if you don't remember the old sales proposal that you received, of course, here he can see everything. You have the shipment tracking. Before we go to the shipment tracking, I will head on to booking. that in the booking area is actually all the shipments that have been rate freight quotations, and they are already approved. And as you can see, I have the price, okay, I have the rates, and when I have a rate, I can actually book it directly from here. In this case, this one was rejected, but you understand the idea. Of course, here they can see the invoices, and of course the shipment tracking. So the shipment tracking is very important, where you can actually view all of your shipments with position. If they click, they open again the view of marine traffic, where they can see exactly where the vessel are located on the map. Okay, so here you can view exactly where the shipment is located on the map. All right. Okay, so this is one. You have the routing of the shipment, the shipping dates, the shipment goods, and of course, if there are any documents, let me just jump on to any shipment with documents. So for example, this one have a document. If I go and I click on browse, I can download my documents directly from here, and this kept safe for 7 years on our cloud. So your customers could always have all of the shipment documents directly right in the customer portal. So this is another thing that we have. Okay, another thing that I wanted to show you. Okay, this is the new look. Okay, this is still under development, but I just wanted to give you a sneak peek inside to understand how the future view of the customer portal will look like. So as you can see here, we have added a nice map where the customer can see actually all of his shipment directly on one unified map. Now we're working on creating even better position of each one of those markers. Okay, but as you can see here, for example, I can see that one shipment is now on the vessel. Okay, so if I open and I go directly to the track and trace of this particular shipment, and I will click on this little vessel icon, it should be in the same place where it right now on the map of the customer. So as we can see here, is indeed in the exact same position that we have seen on the big map. Okay, so as far as the new customer portal view, as I told you, this is with the new map, okay, where you can just click on any shipment, understand what are the shipment, or you can here down below click and you can view each shipment immediately on the map. Okay, and also milestone exceptions, all, and here you have also a little search. So it's really a complete view of the supply chain of the customer if the customer is working through your customer portal. So this is just the sneak peek view for our new customer portal, and let's go on and continue with our webinar. So those are actually the features that we need to give to the customer. Let me jump right on down here to those 4 features. I will just show you how it looks. So here you have the instant quote, book, and track website iframe, where you can see a little picture of how it looks. Of course, we will see in a second all of the features live in this webinar. Here you have the track and trace. So as you can see here, this is how the looks of the track and trace in the customer portal of the customer, including the map to showing where are your shipments at all times. We have the customer registration page, so where the customer can register to your company, and the login iframe, what you should place on your website in order to offer to your customers the login to the customer portal. So this is what we're going through today in the webinar. So we have understood what is digital freight forwarder, and now we will see that also the industry giants are now starting to enter to the digital freight forwarder field, okay, to the market. So If we take, for example, Twill, this is a Maersk innovation, okay? The Twill is made by Maersk together with Damco. They are using Damco human resources in order to manage the shipments of Twill, but Twill is actually a digital freight forwarder. So Maersk actually built Damco, and then with Damco built together Twill. And as you can see, Twill is a different brand than Damco. Why they made it? Because they want to create a separate digital brand for their customers. So in their way of thinking, and also what I think is correct, is to create another revenue stream that will arrive from digital customers. So you should proceed with your regular business with your traditional customers, but you can also launch your digital brand and to create much more business helping digital customers manage their shipment directly inside your system. So just for an example, Twill is by Damco, and of course Kuehne+Nagel, that now also offer the quote book track kind of feature, where you can actually go ahead and ask quotation, receive send bookings online, receive rates online, everything that is related to Kuehne+Nagel. Okay, so this is just for the example to show you that we have two main digital rivals. The first digital rival is the startups, and the second digital rival is actually the industry giants that now has already built their digital freight forwarder brand. So let me close this once, and I head on to our onboarding list. So this is our onboarding list. All of the first points, those 6 points, we have already been through in our first webinar, in webinar number 1. If you didn't create yet your branded company profile, added your team, added your freight agent, and build your professional freight network, publish your company news, send and receive quick quotations, and of course getting business opportunities. If you didn't already build your own brand, please go ahead to our webinar 1, follow the instructions, because we are starting this webinar 2 as from the point where we stopped in webinar 1. So in our webinar 2, in this webinar of today, we will see several things. First of all, I will show you how to upgrade your system to Fast Pro, okay, with 30 days free trial. So this is the first thing that we will see today. The second thing is to set up and embed the white label quote book track website iframe. Next, we will set up and embed the sign up and sign in website iframe tools. Then we will build the rate templates for any type of service. I will show you how to do it. And we will see how the quick quotations are working. So if you load your rate agreements, you can offer a quotation to your team and to your customers online. Then we will see how to handle registrations with fast CRM and invite existing customers. And those 2 points, those 2 last points, we will go on in our next webinar, webinar 3, where we will learn how to actually execute those digital shipments that we receive digitally using Fast, and of course, manage all of the shipments for our customers. So let's start, and I will log in as our test customer, system test. Okay, I will sign in. And what first I will do is I will downgrade the system to the free system. So let me just go into subscription plan, and I will change it to free. All right, just so you will see the upgrading, what you need to do, exactly the process that you need to do for upgrade. So now I'm actually in my free portal. I can see that I'm in my network portal. I can see here that I have only the network portal. I have my logo up here. I have my incoming RFQ, outgoing RFQ, the bookings, and the network directory. Here on the side, I can see my recent discussions, and here the newsfeed of my company or other companies that are in connection with me. So if I head on to my network directory, and this we've seen already in webinar 1, I can see here my partners that are connected to me, and I can see in the cluster, I can see all of the companies that are now registered to FAST, and I can invite any of them to connect, okay, to me. All right? So now, after we have seen that I'm on the free network portal, I would like to upgrade to FAST Pro and start creating my digital business. So first of all, I will head on to my company profile just to check if all of my company profile is full. So as I can see, I have markets we serve, the countries, I have my company color. How you set your company color, we have seen it in webinar 1, but let's see it also in webinar 2. I head on to my edit company profile. I scroll down until I arrive to company configuration. Okay, I can also click here directly on company configuration, and I immediately scroll down to company configuration that it will be on the screen. Here on company configuration, I have 6 fields. The first field is the market countries, and the second is the secondary market countries. The total markets that I could add here are 20 markets, okay, 10 and 10, and I could not repeat the market in case I've already added it here. So for example, if I take Italy and I try to insert it here, I get a message that's saying this country is already selected. All right? So those are the first and second market countries. Why are they so important? Because when a potential customer enters to FAST and want to search for the right partner to ask rate quotation from him, he do it according to the markets of strength. So here is where you notify other potential customers what are your markets of strength. Of course, the first market is your own company, your own country, of course, and the country of all your business units. But on top of it, you add also the first and the secondary markets that you serve. So this is the first 2 things. The second is the commodities, where you can select if you have a vertical market that your company is handling. So for example, is more for companies that are around fashion or only building materials or heavy goods or bulk cargo and those kind. I would leave the commodities for now blank. And then now we arrive to what we want. Here we have the theme color of the company. The theme color is actually HEX. HEX color is a web color that you could choose for your company. If I go and I take this number and I paste it on Google, just for the example, as you can see here, I receive the HEX result of this number of the color. So as you can see, this is the color that I have selected. I can go back, and I can see that this button is on this color, and the line is on this color, and everything is on that color, okay? Also, the tabs here are on that color. And if I want, for example, to change my color, and I want, for example, just to take this one, I just copy this code right here. This is a hex code, HEX code, okay? I can see here all of the values. I have the hex, the RGB, the HSV, okay, everything that we want. So let me just take this code right here, and I will paste it right here on theme color. And when I click on update, what happened now is, as you can see, all of my company colors has turned to this color right here that we have now changed. All right, so this is how you're supposed to set up the design of your company features, like the sign-up page, the sign-in, and of course the quote book track iframe. All right, so this is the theme color that we have selected. Below it, we have 2 URLs. The one is, first of all, is the login URL, and the second of all is the sign-up URL. Okay, so first let's take the login URL, copy it, and paste on our browser. We will see that the login is actually with our colors, okay, with my colors, my company colors that we have now selected, my company logo, all right, and with everything here. Now, if I go ahead and I take the sign up URL, and again, I paste it on my browser, here I have the sign up page where customers could sign up to my company and actually become a digital customer of my company directly on Fast, all right? So why we need those two URLs? Those two URLs were created for your emails. So if you're sending an email to a customer and you would like to invite him to register to your company profile, or if you want to create an email marketing to a lot of potential customers in your country, and you want to notify them that you have a new service of digital freight forwarding where they could actually sign up and start receiving rates, giving you bookings, and just view their shipments online. So you actually can put this link on a button in your email, and then you could see, and then your customer, could go click on this link and arrive directly to this sign up page where they are signing up to your company. Okay, if I click on sign in, I go again to my company sign in. All right, so this is for the sign up and sign in pages. Okay, so this is the page. Is not an iframe. This is actually a page. All right, great. So if everything was clear, now we will jump right on to the possibility of the upgrade of your system. So let's go again to my network portal, or you can do it from any window, but I just want to start from the beginning. So I'm in my front page, and now I go to my upgrade, and I arrive to this upgrade page right here. First of all, my name is username, so here is where I write my name. Activate your Fast Pro account now. Because I already finished my 30-day free trial, so I will not get a free trial right now with this demo user, but on your users, you will have a free trial of 30 days. You could pay to Fast as annually or monthly subscription. The differences between them are, of course, in the pricing is approximately 12% of discount for which of you that would like to pay yearly amount. And for example, if you take here the $79 per user per month is yearly bill, then if you select this one, and I have 5 active subscriptions, then I will be debited in the end of the month $79 times 12 times 5 in one single payment. If I would like to pay monthly, all right, so let me just go ahead and select the monthly. So if I want to select the monthly one, then I will pay the $89 per month, okay, times 5 each month, okay? And this is calculated automatically by active users. If you would like to pay for less users, so you don't want to activate your Pro account for all of your users, you can just head on to your company profile, and inside the team section, I click, and here I have 5 active users. I can decide that I would like to have, okay, this one I will leave. I will remove this one and remove that one. All right, so in the end now we have only 2 active users in my company. I go back to my upgrade page. So again, upgrade. All right, And here again, I select the Pro. When I select now the Pro, now I can see that I have only 2 active subscribers. Right? So this is calculated automatically according to the users that you are adding to your company. Keep in mind that if you add other users to your company, in the end of each month, you will be debited for all of those users. But of course, we are pro the idea of fair pricing. So what's happening in our fair pricing model? If a user has not been logged in to our system throughout the month, you will not be debited on him. So, for example, let me just give you an example. You have 10 users that are now using Fast, and you are paying the $89 per user per month, all right? Then, after 2 months, 2 of your users left the company, and you want to remove them from using Fast, so you will not need to pay for them. But actually, you forgot to go ahead, enter to your team, and just deactivate those users. As long as they didn't made any login to the system in the next month, then the system will not debit you for those users. Okay, so this is just an example. Here, because I already added my credit card before, I don't need to edit it again. I can, if I want, I can edit. Okay, and then it's deleting everything. Okay, but in the case where I already have my credit card from my old subscription, so of course it's only a token with 4 digits, and then I can just click on use current card, and that's it. I've actually upgraded my system to Fast Pro. So now we are in Fast Pro, the digital freight forwarding feature, and you could see here exactly what the Pro includes. So let's just go really quick on the Pro dashboard. So first of all, you have the newsfeed. The newsfeed you already know, you already seen in our previous webinar, so we don't need to talk more about that. Here you have the recent discussion. Again, we've seen it in our webinar 1, so we don't need to go and explain much about that. Here below, by the way, everything is drag and drop, so if you want to change the position of each statistic, you can always drag and drop. So for example, for the user that is the sales agent, he would like to see the sales proposal on top. But for the procurement agent or the employee that is in charge on the operations, then you will see, then you would like to have the bookings on top, right? So you can always change it, drag and drop, and the system is remembering, even if you refresh the page, it's remembering the new order that we have now selected. And if I'm going here and I want to, for example, see the statistics for throughout the year, I can see all of the statistics, and I can see it on a full screen. Okay, so for example, in this case, what we're seeing here is the yearly statistics of freight forwarder, of the amount of freight quotation, sorry, that we have created, this company has created. So you can see the number of weeks. You have 52 weeks throughout the year, and you have the total amount of SPs created. Here you see in this column here, all right? And what are the approval rate? So approval percentage, you can see it here, 0 to 100. And the rejected, and the margin, okay, with the percentage. So in this case, for the example, what I would like to show you is that you can see, just for the example, if the margin is actually changing the approval rate of your sales proposals. So for example, you can go on and see, okay, when I want higher margin, do I get less bookings, or I get more bookings, or I have no difference? So if I have no difference, of course, I would like to debit the higher margin. I would like to go on the higher margins. If I have less bookings, of course, I will need to find the sweet spot. But this is something that is really helping us to understand what's happening in our business. Okay, so those are the statistics. You have the same also for customer shipments, that those are actually the bookings. And you have for shipping orders. All right, here you have again the shipping orders and the steps throughout the shipping orders. So you can see how many of the shipping order steps have already been executed. We will see it in the operations webinar that we will hold next month. So this is the dashboard. On this fast quotation, we will arrive in a few. All right. So now we have understood what we have here in the dashboard. Here on top, you can find the configuration. Now we move. By the way, the menu and the navigation of the system are going to change in the next version. So of course, you will see everything as you're used to, but it will be a little difference in the navigation. So instead that you have the configuration here, it will be under the settings menu in one setting here of configuration. But let's put it aside. And here you have the configuration of your company, the master data that is actually the CRM, okay, where you can find the partners that can be the customers, suppliers, agents, carriers, any type of customers. You can set up the partner classification. So for example, A, B, C, platinum, gold, any type of classification that you think about. You can create competitors. You can create physical addresses, transport equipments, countries, geo areas, and etc., etc. In our business process is actually where all the magic is happened, is where you create sale proposal, customer shipment, that is actually the booking, and the shipping order. Here we have the agreements of buying and agreements of selling, and of course, buying and selling invoices. And we have the accounting with the invoices types, banks, payment terms, etc. If you looking for an instruction on a particular page, here on the top, you have the little question mark, okay? Here on the bottom, you have the big question mark where you can always send us requests or view the frequently asked questions that you have here, okay? GDPR, pricing, anything that you want to learn. But here on the upper side, next to the creation, you have the on-screen manual that if you don't know how to make something or you don't remember how to create something, you can just click on the little question mark, and this is starting an on-screen manual where you're just following the steps in order to create or edit, for example, in this case, the invoice type. So first of all, he's asking me click on new invoice type or click on edit. So let's click on edit. Immediately, as you can see, it's jumped to the next stage because it's seen that I'm inside this window. I click on next, insert the code, select if it's buying or selling, and when finished, click on save. And that's it. I practically finished this little on-screen manual. If we're going to sales proposal, of course, in sales proposal is much heavier. It's much longer. So if I click how to edit or create sales proposal, again, click on edit or click on new. And again, you follow the steps one by one as per the instruction. So if your employee don't remember how to make any type of transaction in the system, he should just go on this little question mark and see the on-screen manual. All right, so if everything has been clear about the first step of upgrading to Fast Pro, Okay, so now I go back to our onboarding manual. I close this one. And the second thing will be to set up and embed your white label quote book track website iframe tool. So the first thing that we should do is, of course, to set up our colors. We have already set up our colors, set it up. So everything is already ready. And now I would like to show you how, of course, what you need to do in order to get the code to embed the HTML. If you know how to write the HTML code, of course, you can do it by yourself. If you don't know, as 99% of the people, just send us an email to support@fastapps.com. Ask us the 3 iframe codes of the login, sign up, and quote book track website iframes, and we will send you your HTML code that you can embed in each one of your websites. All right? So let me just go on to one website. All right, so now it has been loaded. Okay, so you can see all of the possible services that the company has set it up. If you want to remove part of the services, so those are the services that are actually, when you register to FAST, you are creating for yourself. So if you want just to remove one of those services, you just go to my company profile, and you play with the customer services. Please see customer services. We have 2. We have network services. Those are the services that you give to your fellow network members in your professional network that we have created in Webinar 1. But the customer services, those customer services here, are the services that you give to your customers. So the ones that are presented on your iframe in the website and on your customer portal. So for example, if a company not offering rail general cargo, you can just remove it from here, and it will, and click on update, of course, and it will not be shown on the website iframe that is exactly like this one here. So as you can see here, now I don't have the rail bulk cargo. Okay, here, for example, I have the rail, okay, rail freight general cargo shipment by rail. Okay, here I have the booking. In order to book, I need to sign in or sign up, and I have the tracking. In the tracking, you can offer to your customer 2 free services that not require any sign up. First of all is to locate a container vessel in marine traffic. Our system is connected to marine traffic, and we have all the 6,000 and more container vessels, and this is updated daily with all the container vessels. And you can choose any container vessels, for example, MSC Adriana, okay, just for the example. And when I click, I go immediately, I open a new tab of marine traffic with the same vessel that's showing me exactly where is the position of the vessel on my map. So this is a feature that is free of charge for your customers, that is included in the website iframe, that immediately sending you to the particular vessel that your customer is asking for. So this is just, for example, for MSC Adriana. If we take just the Maersk Bogor, and again, we click. As you can see, I arrived directly to Maersk Bogor. Okay, I see from where it started, from which port, and to which port is arriving. All right, so I can see everything. And this is just for the example. This is Maersk Bogor. Okay, and I see that it's going to Algeciras from Nemrut. Okay, so this is just for the example of marine traffic. This is free of charge. The second thing that I would like to show you is how to track a container number. So for example, here we have all the shipping lines. okay, that are connected directly from your website, right? So if I choose MSC and I just put the container number MSKU and I just choose, I just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right, 9. And let me just click. Of course, this is not this is not correct number, so we will never receive the real results. As you can see, no matching tracking information for this container because I just put a number that is not real, right? So I go back and I want to explain to you why we need to set up the pricing templates in order to ask for an automatic quotation. So any company having their own activities of pricing when handling any shipment. So for example, if now I'm going to handle an export shipment of a full container load, he will probably have the origin THC included. He will probably have the origin custom clearance included, okay, the export custom clearance. I will probably have the ocean freight inside. I will probably have the pickup of the goods, of course, if it's Ex-Works or FCA. If it's a FOB shipment, then of course I will not have it. But you get the idea. This is, for example, for an export shipment. But for an import shipment, I will have the import custom clearance. I will probably not pay the origin THC or the ocean freight. I will probably pay only the destination THC of the shipment, and of course the delivery of the container. So those are the templates. You have a templates for each type of service and for each type of movement inside the service. So FCL import, FCL export, FCL cross-trade, and FCL domestic. The same we have with air, the same we have with intermodal, the same we have with any type of freight service. So if I go to configuration, I go to service mix, here I find all the possible service mixes that are related to my company in FAST. So I have air service, then this is air freight, general cargo, intermodal FCL, ocean LCL, the project cargo that is out of gauge, the rail general cargo, the road, full truckload, less than truckload, roll on, roll off, and this is just a test that we have created for this company, and you should not see it on your screen. So let's go on and create the template for our Ocean FCL. I click on Ocean FCL inside Service Mix, and what I see immediately, I see that the service type is Ocean Container, the pickup service is the full container load, the delivery service is full container load. What should I do with this data right here? The details. I have pickup service and delivery service. I should go to configuration, pickup service. You see here I have service type, pickup and delivery. All three we have seen now inside service mix. So service mix is built out of those three: service types, pickup service, and delivery service. Of course, you can edit everything from inside the service mix using the tabs, but I would like to show you the longer way in order for you to learn and understand how this is actually built. So if I go to my pickup service, and on my pickup service is, of course, pickup containers. Okay, so one moment. I have the full container load, okay, FCL. Okay, so this is the full container load. And in my full container load, what I have here, I have that the origin that I'm going to take from it, the cargo is type origin. And the logical freight between the origin and the port of loading is the pickup containers. Let me just go on to a sales proposal And as you can see here, I have actually loaded the logical position of origin, the freight between the origin and the port of loading. Here I have the port of loading, the transshipment, and the port of discharge. With the freight, the master freight that is connected, all of them. In this case, the freight is ocean freight, as you can see here with the vessel. And in the destination part, I have the destination logical position and the logical freight that will drive from the port of discharge to the destination location. Now we arrive to economics. Now, why I took you here to economics, why we are actually building the template of the FCL. And this is why. When I arrive to the economics part of any sales proposal, after I have selected my service pickup, service delivery, my service mix, then the system knows to load actually only the logical routings that are related to the routing that we have chosen right here, so to the service mix. So if I want now to change the type of activities or the number of activities that will arrive on this sales proposal right here, when I click on load activities, then I should go ahead and set them up on my templates. So for example, if I have an export shipment, all right, if I have an export shipment of an FCL, what the system should load on origin, what the system should load on pickup containers. So for example, on origin should be the waiting hours, okay, possible waiting hours for this stop. In the pickup containers, of course, I will have the activity of freight that I paid to my supplier that is taking my shipment. In the port of loading, I should have the origin THC, I should have the custom clearance, the ISPS, the issuing of any legalization of shipping documents, etc., etc. On the ocean freight containers, I could have the insurance, of course, the ocean freight itself, and any other activity. So let's see how the template is now built. Okay, so if I click on load activities, what's happening in the background, the company is heading to my configuration of my company and actually taking all of my activities one by one according to my logical routing that I loaded for this sales proposal or for this shipment. So as we can see here, for example, on the port of loading, I have the origin THC, the issuing of master BL, the ISPS, the International Ship and Port Security, the container terminal entry, if I pay for it, if we have any wharfage, port storage demurrage, export custom clearance, all of those activities are set with the templates. All right? Each of those activities having both buying and selling rates, okay? This, of course, we will see in the next webinar when we learn how to operate actually each shipment. But I just want to show you that on each activity I have the supplier. So here, for example, let me just delete this one. And I will delete the top one as well. And here I have the road freight containers. On the road freight containers, I just choose the supplier, so to whom I'm going to pay for the pick up the cargo from the origin to the port of discharge, all right? And what is the amount that I need to pay? So I have only 120. Of course, I can also put it like this, okay? I could also put the amount here. But if I want really to build a structured, very good activity, I will load my buying structure. And here I have my pricing details, I have my type of evaluation, and my currency. So as you can see right here, if I put, for example, the amount that I should pay, 700 for 48 cubes, 700 for 40 bucks, and let's say that I have only 500 to pay for the 20 bucks. In the end, as we can see right here, I would pay only 500 because the type of evaluation is 40 iCube, 40 bucks, and 20 bucks. But here on the quantity, I have 0, 0, and 1. Why is that? Because in the goods, I have only one container of 20 bucks. If I change it to 2, and I will apply the changes, right now what will happen? If I head on back to my sales proposal, then I should see, okay, now I still have the quantity 1, but if I click here on set quantities, click, and now I have the quantity 2, and this is upgraded to 1,000. And why is this important? Because I could give a rate inquiry to my customer on 20, 40, 40 iCube, and in the end, when he will send me the booking, he will send me, for example, instead of 120, he will send me for 140. So I don't want to do all of the work again of pricing the all of the activities. I just put the pricing for any type of goods, and then for any booking that will arrive, I will manage it. So how we set up those activities of origin. Again, I head on to my configuration, to my logical addresses. In the logical address, what we find the origin, or let's say we find the port of loading, okay, POL. Here I have the port of loading. If I click on it, I have my logical activities that are related to this logical position. For example, as you can see here, I have origin terminal handling charges, BL, ISPS, everything that you have seen with me now on the sales proposal. What are the configurations that we have here? We have, is this valid for SP? So should we pull this activity in the SP or only in the customer shipment, only in the booking part? Is this valid for export, import, domestic, cross-trade? Is this a master activity? All right. And does this required for evaluation? This is a very important field, required for evaluation. What does this mean? The required for evaluation actually mean that if I don't have price in my agreements on this single activity of origin handling, terminal handling charges, so OTHC, if I don't have the buying prices in my agreement, then I will not be able to give automatic quotations. Okay, we will arrive to the automatic quotation really, really soon. But before we go there, I just want to show you that if you set the template correctly, and by the way, feel free, we have our onboarding service with our onboarding team. Send us please an email to support@fastapps.com, and we will help you with setting up and configuring your automatic quotation, your templates, your processes, everything that you need. We have here our onboarding team. So really take in consideration that you can do it also with our help. I'm just showing you here how to do it because you will probably need to do it also on spot basis when you just need to change something. So I'm just showing you here. But first of all, to set it up, just write an email to our support team, and we will do it for you, of course, free of charge. All right? So if I go inside the origin terminal handling charges, I see inside that I have the activity name. Is this available for export, import, domestic, and cross-trade? So in this case, this activity will arrive only if this is an export and cross-trade shipment. It should arrive to the sales proposal. This is an activity that is also master activity. It means for LCL, is more for LCL, that is make part of the activities that are related to the master container that taking the little shipments inside. Here I have the, this is for all service mix, so in our case is only for FCL. So let's choose FCL and LCL, sorry, everything that is with containers. So I can choose, for example, project cargo. All right, so really, is only for those service mixes: Ocean FCL, Intermodal FCL, Ocean LCL, and Project Cargo. So whenever I have one of those service mixes chosen on my sales proposal, then it should arrive. All right, so this is, for example, the template on port of loading. And if I want to go ahead to the template on the freight, on the ocean freight, so I just write ocean. Right, I have here ocean freight containers. And here I have the activities. All right, so I have 3 activities, only 1 required for evaluation. So only the ocean freight container is required for evaluation. The insurance and the all-in is not required. All right, so again, if I go inside ocean freight containers, export, cross-trade, import, domestic. Domestic, of course, is not relevant. And instead of all service mixes, again, I will choose only the FCL. Only the one that are handled by container. All right, so this is just for the example, and we have created and set our template of activities. After we have finished to set up our template of activities, we should load our buying agreements for each one of the activities that are required for evaluation. If we will not do so, then we will not be able to give automatic quotations, because required for evaluation is actually what is required from us in order to give an automatic rate. All right, so as you can see here, for example, I have created an activity from La Spezia, Ancona, and Ravenna to all the seaports in Israel. If you want, I go inside. Of course, we have a service to load the agreements directly by Excel. You're sending us your Excels, and we are loading it directly to your system. It's a 24-hour service, so in 24 hours, everything will be loaded. And if you need to change something on the spot, you can go inside manually on each agreement, and you could edit everything. So, for example, the shipping line MSC just sent me a message saying that the container security fee, the CSF, is updated now to $13 instead of 12.5. So I can just go inside and update the rates for the CSF, that the CSF is on container. The BAF, the bunker adjustment factor, is on the TEUs, okay, just for the example. So this is, for example, on how you edit the single buying agreement, okay? So this is just an example of buying agreement from those 3 ports to these ports. Here what you have is the type of freight, is an ocean, okay, from seaport to seaport, from all of those addresses to all of the seaports in the country of Israel. All right, and this is the activity where you put your prices, just like you've seen in the activities in the sales proposal. All right, so how you can use those rates? Let me show you. Of course, the customers can ask quotation directly from the customer portal, but this is something that we will see later. Okay, this is something that we will see in our next webinar. But right now, what I wanted to show you is how you could use it. So if I go back to my company dashboard, you remember in the beginning of the webinar, I've shown you this little menu right here, the name Fast Quotation. This Fast Quotation is actually your tool of searching and inquiring your own buying agreements. So if I click on FCL, let's say that the customer now asking me for a shipment. I click on the goods, and he's asking me a shipment of 3 20 boxes, 3 40 boxes, and 15 40 IQ, right? And he wants this shipment from La Spezia to Haifa port in Israel, and the origin will be Milano. I click on Get Prices. Of course, I don't have destination because the customer will arrive to Haifa and pick it up themselves. I click on Get Prices. And if I have prices for all the activities that are required for evaluation, I have everything here. So as you can see here, I have the master freight with ZIM shipping line is $24,359.58. And if I go with MSC, it is $26,250. Okay? So I have this difference of approximately $2,000. So of course, I will go with the cheaper one. If the customer requests, let's say, a shorter transit time, and actually MSC have a better transit time, of course, I will choose the more pricing one. But in the end, I will choose this one for the sale proposal. So I just click on select sale proposal. I choose my customer. I choose if it's the sender or the receiver of the goods. I choose the Incoterms. I create the sale proposal. And everything that you have seen until now in this webinar, so all of the sale proposal, how it's built and everything is built very quickly. So you see the customer is already selected, all the service mix is already selected, the routing is already full with Spezia and Haifa, and the origin place. The goods are already set with 3, 3, and 15. The economics are already full with all of my suppliers, so I know what I should pay the suppliers, the supplier of trucking for each one of the trucking services. I know what I should pay to ZIM on the terminal handling charges. Okay, for example, I know what I should pay to ZIM on the ocean freight. Okay, so here I have the ocean freight that I should pay, 20,587. So in the end, what I need to do is only to give a selling rate to the customer. So very easy, load selling structure. And here I just put the price per container. So let's say that for the 40 iCube, I take this one, and also for 40 box. And for the 20, we will take 1.4. And for the CSF, we take the same. Okay. And now those are the selling rates. Now, if I apply the changes, I only put the selling rates. All of the buying rates are automatically updated by my buying agreements. Here I see that I didn't include enough margin. Okay, just this is a very, very, very important feature for you to understand what are your total buying, total selling. Always understand if you've put enough margin for you. Okay, so again, let me just make it a little bit more expensive, so we will have some nice profit out of it. Okay, just for our demo. And here I can just load any printout that I want. And as you can see, this is with my colors. If you remember, we have set it up those colors in the beginning of the webinar. Here I have the offer to the customer. So we have the quantity, the unit price, and the total in dollars, total of what he needs to pay. So he needs to pay $40,000. Here you have the quantities, okay, all of those quantities that we have inserted. So with the total, 21 containers, 39 TEUs. All right, and if we want to generate this PDF, I just click on the PDF, and in 2 seconds, I have my PDF right here, okay, where I can download and view directly here. All right. The last thing that I wanted to show you is how a customer is actually signing in, to my company. So let me just again go to my company profile, edit company profile, and I will take from here, if you remember, my login URL. Right? I will log out from my system, and I will put here my login URL. Okay, so now I'm entered through my login URL, and I'm going to my customer portal. So I'm entering as my customer AA Imports, signing in. Okay, these AA Imports have many dashboards, but really I wanted to show you only the customer dashboard. So as you can see here, I'm connected to Delta World Consolidator. This is my logo as a customer, as the customer. This is my customer logo. Here I can ask for freight quotation directly to you, to the freight forwarder that is in front of me. Here I can read all of the news that are related to the freight forwarder that is in front of me. I can see all of my sales proposals, so anything that the forwarder offered to me. Okay, shipment tracking, and of course bookings. Okay, those are all the shipments that I already booked. Okay, here I can even find because it's in status approved, I will find it here on the bookings. But if I go inside, okay, this is just an example. That is from Italy to Israel. Is the one that we have created right now. And of course, you have the invoices. If you want, you can go inside and download any invoice that you had in the past, so any shipment invoice. And of course, we have the shipment tracking, where you can track and trace all of your shipments. Of course, we will be able to show you a deeper view about the track and trace and how to actually operate any single shipment in our next webinar that will take place in October. All right. So now I go back here just to follow if we have missed anything. So upgrade to Fast Pro, we have seen how to do it. Set up and embed your quote, book, track, website, iframe, and sign up and sign in. So we have seen how to set up your own company colors with hex color, web color, and then how you can actually put them on your website. Just send to our email address, support@fastapps. If you don't know how to code an HTML code to your website, we will be happy to assist you. Okay, so those are about these two steps right here. We have seen now how to build our rate templates and how to load our rate agreements for quick quotations. Okay, and the last thing that we have not seen yet is the fast CRM and invite existing customers. I think that this we will do already in the next webinar. Okay, that will take place in October. But of course, you can always go here to FastApp/onboarding and just follow the instructions that are always updated right here. Okay. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to send us to support@fastapps.com. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great morning or evening, depends on where are you in the world. And thank you again for watching. Thank you for your time. And goodbye.